So the first three have been the brand name, your target audience, and then their pain points. What is it that they have going on? The thing would be to have like a plan. And this is where it kind of gets a little tricky, because the plan would implement all the things that you probably have questions about. Who's the vendor? What type of hair am I selling? What textures? What's this? What's that? And I'm telling you, like, all these things can be figured out by touching on those first three things, because then you'll have like a main goal. Like, you ever seen like a bubble map of like the title? Okay, these are different subjects. Okay, these are the details of those subjects, and etc. Like that. That would be the example of where I'm coming from here. Let me get some water. How you are going to start your business with no money. What is it that you currently have? Or when I say what you currently have, is like, what extra money do you currently have? These are the areas where you can start your business with no money. No money does not mean you have $0. Like, it's not $0 turning into $1 million. Like, you can never do that. If you can do that, there's something wrong. But, well, it's something wrong. It's not sustainable. You have to have something that can consistently fund this business out of extra, something that you're not using. $0. So if you have a budget, and I've talked about having a budget before, if you haven't seen a video, I'll link it up above. You plan out your budget whichever way you need to, and you see that there is extra money coming from somewhere that is not being used for any expense at all in your life, and you have access to do something with it. Most people invest it, and your business is an investment. So you could take that extra money, which is literally $0 to you because you don't use it. For me personally, in 2016, my extra money, or my $0, was me doing hair. I started out from nothing and started to do hair. Now granted, I'm not saying I didn't have any combs, I didn't have any hair products, I didn't have this, I had that. I had those things. But I started out with nothing. I used a free social media account. I used my products that I already purchased, my own stuff, to do people's hair. And people would pay me. And those extra payments were things that I did not have to come out of pocket for unless I was buying hair products. And if I still had money left over from that, then I would use that to fund my business, to purchase things. But what I did different in 2016 that can still be used now today, you just have to tweak it a little bit, is that I didn't buy the hair for my customers to try. Or my customers were actually my brand ambassadors. So I didn't buy the hair for them. They purchased the hair themselves. But because I offer a service to these people and they've seen my work already, and I had that history built up, that is where like people had trust and credibility in my work. I wasn't the greatest hairstylist in the world, but for the time being, I knew what I was doing and it looked good. Building up the service that I provided to these people, having that extra $0 or extra cushion of money to invest in my business, I utilized that time and experience as my coin, like another version of $0, to turn my business into what it was. Thumbs up if it made sense. So leave a question down below if you have a question. My customers, the people that I was starting my business with, are the people that had already either sewn into me through my services, or people who were my target audience. They were college students. It was the timing that worked well too. It was like homecoming time, so people need hair for homecoming, you know. It was affordable. Bundles were like $10, y'all. Not the same as it is nowadays. So this is why this example may look different, because inflation, it's normal. It happens. With business, you have to be able to sustain, to handle these situations. And starting out, this is something that you'll have like a learning curve about because it's new. But if you can conquer this, like these in fluctuating seasons, like the times that we're in now, you'll be popping. I made sure to let it be known to them what is going to be happening here and how we're going to maneuver through this process, which is where my plan came into place of letting them know, I do hair, I'll do your hair. I have a friend who does photography, and all you have to do is, I have the vendor, you just purchase the hair, you sign this contract so that it states that my role is this, your role is that. Though it's signing contracts, they would sign the contract, they would get their hair ordered, it would come to me, it wouldn't go directly to them. They could keep their hair until our appointment, or I could keep it until the appointment. Now the flaw in this plan was, I wanted everybody to be able to come together and basically everyone get their hair done at the same time, and we just take big group photos of just like anything. The process of the photos was not planned out that well, and that's something that I was taking into account now and just change it. On top of that, I had like 15 girls that I was trying to manage at one time, and mind you, I was the only one providing the service, so that means that I would have to do 15 different women's hair in like the same day. No, like that was thinking too big. Right idea, too big, you know? So I would do that differently now. I would only have like 2 or 3 solidified people who can stand on their word, pay for their product. They would get free service of hair done. When I say hair done, I don't mean they come wash, blow dried, braided already. I don't mean that. I mean like the full-blown service. The only thing I never offered was washing hair, and that was because I just didn't feel comfortable making people stand in the shower, or not stand in the shower, but you know, like lean over in the shower and do that and get on the floor, and that's just too much. Like, why would somebody do that? Just wash your hair, show up as you are. I don't care if your hair looked like this or it was this big. It was getting done for free. So that's just convenient for people who don't have time to do these different things to their hair. And that's cool. It was cool with me because I was down to do that. You know how selfless people have to be to even believe you and trust in you to give you their money for a product they've never tried before, but trusting that they will get their hair done for free. The hair would be amazing, even though I never tested it out, and to trust that there would be photos done too. But there was flaws in the system and not everything worked out the same. Some people didn't have their money. Some people didn't show up. They just kept their hair. Some people didn't even pick up their hair. Like, it was crazy. They paid for something, didn't pick it up, never picked it up. And these are just little things that I did not prepare for, which is supposed to be a part of a business plan, is like the risk. All businesses, like, you know, people like do like chargebacks and stuff. Businesses plan for those things. That wasn't something that I knew, so I didn't plan. And I hope all of this is making sense, because this is a part of the planning process and the procedures that are needed to be done before you spend money on anything, before you ask anybody anything. And it's just time that has to be taken into account your user's experience. UI design is like this big thing now. It's something that's heavy on my mind too. But you have to think about your user. You're not the one that's out there purchasing your products from your own business to support your business. You're not doing that. Of course, you could buy some hair for yourself, but it's not the same. You own the business. You're not the customer. You can't play both roles. You have to think about your customer first. You have to think about your audience first, your user. So that is a part of the process and plan that I lacked in, that I just didn't know about. And in 2022, I would take these things into account. People don't have access to certain things anymore. Stuff costs more. So I know that I have to have people in place that can pay. I have to have a plan together that is solid. You know, not all plans are perfect, but there's a way to help it work out a little bit better than what I did before. And As far as the photographer thing, she was down to take pictures. And the money that was coming in from these hair purchases, mind you, I told you the hair was like $10. These people were paying an inflated price. So they were paying like regular price for the hair, but it was not necessarily full price. It was discounted. I want to get into the pricing because I don't want to say this and it'd be confusing. If the hair was $10 and I sold it to them, and I was going, my original plan's price to sell this hair was $70, right? I gave it to my brand ambassadors for $50. So that means that they spent, if they bought 3 bundles, they were $10 each. That means $150 was spent. So that means that $30 was spent on the bundles. Shipping was like $20 back then, and taxes. So in total, there was maybe like, what? Not even $75 spent for 3 bundles of hair. And yeah, so that means there was like an extra $50 to $75 that I had to work with to fund my business, to pay my photographer, to buy products for these girls, because they could get their hair colored if they wanted to. They could do like whatever it is that they wanted to do with their hair, as long as it was paid for, you know, because this money was used for something else. I didn't take the money for myself to pay a bill. And I think that that's important to think about here, because I know people start businesses to think like, oh, I can pay my bills with it, but your business is a bill. So business expenses was paid for with whatever hair money I was given, and I use it to work with the photographer, and, you know, etc., etc. Mind you, there were still flaws in that process. My flow of money got lost. I lost track of my money too. So having like an account book of like records of money and all that stuff would be important. Like being able to be an accountant of your money so that you know that you're not in the store. Look, you could be like me. I'm a person where I want to give people like the utmost like beautiful experience they ever had. I'm buying all the nice combs, all the nice hair products. Oh, I'm thinking about their scalp. Oh, I'm thinking about their hair being straight or flat iron or this or that. Like, hello, we can't do that, because if there was like, mind you, I started out with like a big number of girls, only maybe half of them paid for it, and then half that and half other people who are actually people I got photos of. It was difficult. So I can't be out here buying $20 products 6 times, because then I won't turn profit. I won't be able to pay my photographer. So having an account on this money is important, because it was supposed to be flowing, but the plan was not tight. And ultimately, for the location, like to get these photos, honestly, you could take pictures anywhere. Like you don't even have to have a complete building to do it. It's just a matter of, you're not gonna want to do people's hair outside. And I didn't always want to pull up to people's houses, but I did it anyways, you know? Thumbs up if this is still making sense to you. And I know this part is kind of like all over the place, but they all just fall under plan. Like if I could just label this one part something, it would just be the plan. And I'm telling you different things that are important to remember and to plan. And I hope that you're catching gems or tea, or you sparked by some type of word that's going on here. These are just things that I would just do differently coming into 2022 and launching my business from no money, you know? So the photographer wise, like being airtight about that. Social media wise, being airtight about that. Now the photos, I did tell the girls, like, you know, you don't have to promote this stuff if you didn't want to, because you did pay for it. But if you wanted to, feel free to tag me. You know, that would be appreciated. Feel free to tag me. You can keep the photos for yourself too. I'll send them to you. Like, these are all things in the contract. I gave it a time limit. These people had a year to agree to the contract, to agree to the terms. And yeah, so there was a contract that was important because you want to be held accountable for your word and you want them to be accountable for their word, because these things do stand up in court when you have a contract, email contract, anything that's like written down, it can be like verified, you know. But if we're just having conversation and there's no recorded conversation of it or anything, it's just he said, she said, and that's just not good business, if you ask me. Like, if we have to have verbal contracts, I don't think this is good business, because you don't even want it in paper and writing to hold yourself accountable or to hold me accountable. Paper trail is important, especially nowadays. So electronic trail is important nowadays. But yeah, these are just different things I would just keep in mind. Some other things that I would want to point out that I did not do, and if I was to do it now, I would do outfits. I would coordinate outfits. Brand colors, I would coordinate my brand colors with this. I would have my hashtags ready for social media. I would know which social media accounts I would want to be a part of. As Reels and TikToks and stuff are big now, I would want to do those things with these people. And these are different things that I'll have to put into the contract to let them know we're going to do this, that, and the third. Let my photographer know we're going to do this, that, and the third. So it's like, keep that in mind. If you don't have the extra money, if you don't know how to provide hair services, if you know how to provide a service, period, you're good at writing papers. You're good at walking dogs. You're good at Ubering. Like, do something that can provide you a little extra something. Extra 20, extra $30 daily or every other day or over the weekend. Then it will be really important. I had to check that. Then it will be really important and helpful for you in taking those little increments of money and applying it. And also just evaluate the times that you're in, like the seasons. Valentine's Day is coming up. What else? Memorial Day, the summertime, Christmas. Know your audience. And I think I covered everything here. Yeah, but like I said, if you have questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. I didn't talk so much about defining the vendor, the hair type, and all that stuff. That's going to be a different video because I just need people to understand the difference. You gotta know what you're looking for, okay? I'm gonna just leave it at that. So that's the end of this video. I hope this helped you. I hope you got some tea, some gems on how to start your business in 2022 with no money. And yeah, peace and hair grease. Y'all stay out them PP loan things. People are going to jail, okay? And I feel like saying in Jesus' mighty name, amen. Be God bless you. God be with you. And I shall see you in another video. Adios, amigo.